How to make my reindeer cupcakes, the perfect easy festive cupcake treat. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, where today I'm making possibly one of my personal favourite festive bakes, which is my reindeer cupcakes. This is just a delicious chocolate cupcake with a really good chocolate buttercream frosting, but it's the decoration, as you've seen in the intro, is just really cute. You know, the little nose, the eyes and the ears, that's all we're after, is a fun but festive themed bake. So I'm going to start off with a really basic chocolate sponge mix. I'm gonna make that, bake them in my, my favorite normal baking cups because I love these. And then we're gonna decorate some delicious little reindeer heads, and they're gonna be perfect. And they're gonna be the perfect bake for you, with your kids, just because it's Christmas. But either way, I hope you love this recipe. So I have 4 medium eggs here. I always tend to use medium eggs in my baking because this makes the ratios a lot easier. So I have 4. I have some really rich and delicious 100% cocoa powder, which I'll link in the description box below because it's just so chocolatey and delicious. And then of course I have my self-raising flour. I always like to use self-raising flour because it's readily available here. But if you can't actually access this, you can use 150 grams of plain flour with 2 level teaspoons of baking powder mixed in, and you have homemade self-raising flour. Here I have some light brown soft sugar, which of course, as you know, is my favorite thing to use in a chocolate cupcake because it makes a delicious moistness and flavor to the cupcake mix. And here I have my baking spread. I tend to always use baking spread in a cupcake mix because I think it makes it more moist and delicious. But if you don't have this, you can use a room temperature block butter instead. And then this time I've decided to flavor with vanilla extract because, it's my favorite. So I'm just gonna start by adding my butter to my bowl, and then I add my light brown soft sugar as well. And then I'm just gonna cream these together until they're light and fluffy. I'm gonna add in my cocoa powder, my self-raising flour, my eggs, and of course my vanilla extract. So now that my cupcake mixture is ready, it's nice and thick and chocolatey. So I've grabbed a 5cm scoop, which I'll link below. And like I said earlier, I have my baking cups as well. So I'm just gonna split the mixture between the 12 cases and then bake in my preheated oven. I do this at 160 fan for about 20 minutes. But if you want to make sure they definitely bake flatter, because some ovens make cupcakes like peak, bake at 140 for about 30 to 35 minutes instead in a fan oven. And now they're ready to bake. And of course, once they're baked, leave to cool fully before we can decorate. So now that my cupcakes have baked and cooled fully, we can make the decoration. And this is an American buttercream frosting in the sense that it's unsalted block butter and icing sugar mixed together. But this time we're obviously adding cocoa powder to make it chocolatey, a little bit of vanilla extract for the flavor, and then the world's best secret ingredient, which is just evaporated milk. So I've just kept this in the tin because you don't use all of it in the recipe, and I know I'm going to use it again for some more cupcakes probably later in the week because I love this frosting that much, it's worth it. If you don't have evaporated milk, condensed milk does not substitute in the same way, so don't use that. You can use double cream instead. That does mean the cupcakes technically need storing in the fridge because double cream is a fresh ingredient, but either way, evaporated milk makes the most luxuriously smooth and delicious frosting ever. So I'm going to make that now, then we can pipe it onto our cupcakes and decorate to make these look like our little tiny reindeers. So I'm going to start by adding some room temperature block unsalted butter to my bowl, and then we're going to mix this on its own until it's very smooth before adding any other ingredients. I'm going to add in my cocoa powder. I'm going to add in my icing sugar. I'm going to add my vanilla, and then I'm going to slowly pour in my evaporated milk. So that is how you make the chocolate frosting. So now that my frosting is ready, I have my favorite piping tip, which is a 2D closed star piping tip. As you can see in the size, it's actually quite big. So some people struggle with piping, and it's because their piping tips are probably about a third of this size, and they tend to be the ones you can find in a supermarket or anything like that. These are best found in cake decorating shops or online, so I'll link this one below. And then I also have this piping bag, which is like a large grippy one, so I'll link these below as well, but I prefer to use these because it makes it much easier to pipe, and then there's no risk of cross-contamination as well. So I'm just going to add my frosting with the piping tip in the bag, and then we can decorate our cupcakes. So here I have some red M&Ms as my noses for my reindeer. So I'm just going to press them lightly into the cupcakes. And then I just add some little edible eyes for the reindeer's eyes. When it comes to the antlers, I just use the sort of salty pretzels and then break them in half and then insert them into the cupcake. So that is how you make my easy, delicious, but simple reindeer cupcakes. And as I say, it's so simple. No, of course, they don't look that similar to a reindeer, but they're meant to be a bit of fun, and they're also delicious. And you know, with me, that's more what is important, is how something tastes. So either way, the recipe will be in the description box below with a link to the full blog post. I'll link everything I can think of that you might need. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. And of course, come back next time for something else that is utterly festive. I'm now gonna go and eat a cupcake. Enjoy.